Blosserbody.
Hey guys, it's Blosserbody here, bringing you the first episode in a new series on this brand new channel.
So in this video I'm going to be talking about rumours of the Xbox 720 coming out in the summer of 2013. So the very first Xbox that came out, the Premium Edition, came out in late 2005. So, well, nearly 8 years ago now. And it was obviously very successful amongst casual gamers, and also to a very significant extent the more sort of like serious gamers who want to play FPS games. And then there was a bit of there was a period of 5 years where basically nothing really changed. I mean, the Elite came out, but no one really cared because it's just a more expensive version. And so, I mean, yeah, it performed fairly well, but it wasn't anything revolutionary, if you will. Though arguably at this stage, no new technology is, but whatever. So, there was a bit of a breakthrough in mid-2010 when the Xbox Slim was released rather. So these promised to be much more efficient, energy efficient, much quieter, lighter than the regular Xbox, and to some extent they are, though the extent to which they're quieter is debatable, as I've come to experience. But in this video I'll be talking about the potential new features in the Xbox 720 and different factors affecting them. So like how they're produced, how they're developed, who they're produced by, and then things like that. So first of all, I'm just gonna put it out there. Blu Ray. I think that's gonna be the main feature in the Xbox 720 that's not existing currently, because as I'm sure you know, the PS3 in all its iterations has acted as a Blu Ray player when required, which is very convenient for the casual gamer and also family use, because it means that you don't have to dish out extra money to buy a Blu Ray player, which will set you back. A good Blu Ray player will be 150 quid at least. So I think what Microsoft are definitely going to try and do is implement the Blu Ray technology into the new Xbox, which shouldn't be too hard. The way the technology is advanced, very, very advanced Blu Ray players from 2-3 years ago are now going dirt cheap because the technology has advanced so much. So I think that's basically going to be a definite in the new Xbox. So secondly, the Kinect. Now I don't mean the regular Kinect that came out last year, because that was basically a flop. I mean, to be brutally honest, it was just a bit of a gimmick, really, just for like families and kids who want to have a bit of novelty fun. But beyond that, it didn't serve any actual purpose. Significantly though, now in the new iteration of the Xbox, the 720, what Microsoft are looking to do, and they've applied for patents for this, they are trying to firstly they want to increase the capabilities of the Kinect significantly, so now it can track inanimate objects from all across the room. Now I must admit, I got the Kinect when it came out, and I returned it instantly because I mean, you know, I found that it wasn't actually any help. I considered keeping it on for FIFA, but apparently it's really bad in FIFA as well, so probably better. And then, of course, I saw Paranormal Activity 4, and the Kinect scene scared me, so I'm never going to Kinect again. But basically, the new Kinect that they've developed, the new, I believe there's new hardware as well as software, but Kinect 2.0 is much more efficient, much more powerful. I think that's the important thing, which means that the implementation in games such as FPSs, so Battlefield, Call of Duty, Halo, it's going to be a lot easier in the future for firms, which I think will delight many gamers, because, I mean, come on, who doesn't want to play? Anyway, so there's that. But on the subject of controllers, Microsoft are thinking of implementing what's called an electromyography controller. Now, for the less engineering fluent of you, electromyography controller basically means that it monitors muscle activity, and nerve twitches, nerve activity, and it registers that and monitors that, and then it acts accordingly. So it lets you. It's basically sort of like it ties into the Kinect thing. It means that it's a lot more responsive, and the range of motion that can be recorded is a lot more significant because it can track much more precise movements. So that's going to be very interesting if they manage to put that in there, which from what I've read they should do. They've applied for patents for that as well. So next, very similar, is haptic feedback. Haptic feedback mechanisms. This is sort of like haptic feedback is when you can feel objects in virtual reality, and you can actually, so for example, if you're bouncing a basketball or whatever, you'd be able to feel all the little grooves and the line and things like that, and obviously it adds to a much fuller, much more wholesome gaming experience. So they're thinking of implementing that as well in the form of virtual reality, augmented reality glasses.